Hello. Sorry for the jump scare. I don't usually talk at the beginning of my videos, but also don't have my streams usually cut out in the middle of the final boss fight. This is the ending of Metaphor ReFantazio. Just in case this is the first video of mine you happen to see, I have a whole playlist of the entire game, and my stream just happened to cut out during that last half of the final boss. So if you happen to see this, do enjoy the ending. Alright, looks like my internet is not going to agree with me, so I'm just gonna have
In
to
the
finish
name
this
of justice,
in a vibe.
are you prepared?
That sucks.
Our new world and its ideals.
Is that all? It's moving to the fast dancer. Keep it together.
That helped. Trust me.
Helpful as ever.
Let's bring. We'll do this together. Maybe it's bring. Maybe not. By this power. Let's set it up. Show them our might.
Warrior! I'll cut you down.
Right on target. Nice one,
Is everyone
Stroll.
all right? So
My
heavy.
shoulders.
Oh shit, grip. Oh, that's nothing.
The audacity! Juna's struggling with her anxiety. Don't let her get attacked. Ah!
Oh, that's
Thanks.
what I wanted you to use anyway.
I'm obliged.
I owe you.
Hulkenberg!
There is no
You've got
power.
Lend me your
several
strength.
elements slowing you down.
I'm counting on you. Warrior! Hack and slash.
By the with blade in hand.
I'll be fine!
Feel true terror.
Juna's anxious and they're out for her blood.
And what this heralds a new
Excess magma's all gathering together.
Underworld tree.
everyone.
Stroll!
Forgive me.
Someone get him back on his feet! His aura's overpowering.
Let's work together.
Making it harder to fight.
Not this.
Just hold on!
This should work.
Hulkenberg!
Live to see another day.
Got several ailments slowing you down.
I defer to you.
The fast dancer.
I knew you'd help. Thank you.
Helpful as ever. Result. A foolish people, shackled by insecurity. Be gone from this world.
What's happening?
What's happened?
Tactic.
What can I do?
Everyone
Yeah,
okay?
Brett.
You gotta heal up.
Oh, luckily they're immune to that.
You're all hurt bad. Can anyone
do this
get on
together.
healing duty?
Go!
Juna's struggling with her anxiety.
I can't.
Don't let her get attacked.
I'll save. Moving to the rear.
Stroll's anxiety is spiking. Keep the enemies off him.
Here.
That helped.
Thanks.
I'm obliged. By the Knight! Strike me if you dare.
I'm only a songstress. Can't let it go
I knew you'd help.
unused.
Trust me.
I owe you. Be gone.
Hulkenberg's down.
This is
Get her back up.
where it ends.
I feel so slow.
We just picked someone to die.
Someone is anxious and out for her blood. There's even more magma converging. Something bad's coming.
Shut up!
Jonas, fast! Get her to feel it. The magma's boiling. It's ready to explode. Watch out! Hulkenberg's down.
I'll get some distance.
Someone help her get back in the fight.
Let's try this.
My spirit
I
is
shall
okay,
flurry.
Vulcan? You look like you're about to drop.
Perhaps not. Go for it.
Juna, careful! It looks like you've got several ailments. How's your back?
Waiting.
It's too fast, Dancer. You
Oh,
can
you're gonna
count
die.
on me.
I'm obliged.
My thanks.
I can recover if just Hulkenberg lives though.
Feel true terror.
The audacity!
Oh, please.
His aura's overpowering,
Time for some close
making
calls.
it
Let's set
harder
it
to
up.
fight. Just hold on.
Show them our might!
Juna, careful!
To the fore!
It looks like you've
I
got
call
several
upon royal
ailments.
power
Watch
within.
your back. Right on target. Nice one, Stroll.
Nice! Strike me if you dare!
There is
This
no
is just
power
what I need.
in your
No need to
Thanks.
worry.
Trust needed.
I owe you.
We're fine.
Hulkenberg,
We'll do this
you've
together.
got several ailments slowing you down.
Hold nothing back!
The face. Ah.
Why can you not understand my ideals? Shut up!
Still don't understand what it means by the link has been severed.
Tactic.
Oh, he is just debilitating her.
Stepping back.
Hulkenberg,
Time to go offense.
you've
No
got
holding
several
back.
ailments slowing you down.
Hack and slap.
For all that we strive for! Burst forth!
I'll show you. Raging fire. Take their weakness. Don't let up now.
I'm all prepared.
Go!
Still up?
Warrior. They die hard.
By the sworn oath of knighthood. I'll stay my blade.
This is just what I need. You can count
I
on
knew
me.
you'd help.
I'm obliged.
Helpful as ever. A world born of fantasy. It must not be.
I reckon you're shut. Oh, thank you for that help.
That's it. Stroll's anxiety is spiking.
Let's set it up.
Keep the enemies off him.
Hold nothing back!
A tough one.
You've got
I
several
can't.
ailments slowing you down.
Let's try this.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Trust needed. Is everyone all right? Oh, power of heroes! Oh, but they yet cling to life.
Watch me. This might sting.
Behold. Let's work together.
Show them our might!
Got him.
My world.
So much for he would like bow out or whatever if he was proving to be weaker.
But why? Why is it still beyond me?
Because you're too weak. Oh.
Dawn breaks.
We're going for 10 minutes. Internet couldn't hold out for 10 fucking minutes. At the very least.
Look! He's done it! He's finally beaten Luis!
Does this mean he's won? I'm not dreaming this. He did it!
Not yet.
God damn it.
I have my ideals. Witness!
He just doesn't give up.
Everyone's fighting their fear and anxiety. Nobody knows for sure what's right. And even through all that, the people have declared you king!
We fight for more than justice. Show him our will against his. Show him the fall of his world.
Hold fast to your ideals! 'Tis your sworn duty as king!
You've wielded the power of kings! It's time to stop following in their footsteps! Now it's your turn to take your place with them!
Welcome back.
Your fantasy is naught but lies!
What? What's going on?
Just teleported us out. Nope, very
Now, die!
We know. Fantasy is more than an empty dream. It's a dream. With the power to change the world!
new archetype, king.
Damn you!
Didn't even hit him. I guess I don't need all this. Save the country.
That must be
Oh, sorry.
the Lord that governs Utopia in all worthy champions. The hero's archetype. The king. I see. At long last, fantasy has become a force that frees people from anxiety. A harbinger of change for a deadlocked reality.
The people have chosen my son. With that, my tremendous gamble hath borne fruit. Thus it is that my duty here draws to a close.
And now, the novel you wrote with such passion will finally begin a new chapter.
This voice... could it be? But how?
While flames swept through the sanctum, I cast a final spell to abandon my body and survive in soul. I became an immaterial being among the fairies. I had to, so I might provide guidance to the child on his most perilous path.
The power of the archetypes. Was that your doing?
No. All I did was awaken them to it. My voice carried the words they needed to hear. That power is no great and rare treasure. It is something that might be grasped by anyone with the will to change the world. And anyone has the power to change the world. Those children proved as much. Now, that boy has grasped the courage of a warrior.
Burn.
All dragons who still roamed the continent have fallen by his hand. For what greater embodiment of the impossible is there than a dragon? And he now possesses the power and will to quell those forces.
I see.
I still think those two
And he
teams
is
could
not
have
so weak a child that I must
given
hold
Luis
his
the business.
hand. I am truly sorry. I lost all the power I once knew. I saw the sanctum burn. And you. I lost you. Once they took our child from me, all my remaining hope went with him. And so I placed my faith in the royal magic. I believed that if this world would choose him, there would still be hope.
This shall do. That boy's fight, and ours, is finally over. The people no longer need some mystic relic or some lofty magics to soothe their fears. They have found the strength to overcome it within.
They're all
Provided they
magic.
can turn their anxiety into strength, and never stop walking toward the unknown, reality will ever change. Their world shall be one full of possibility.
This isn't about the throne anymore. It marks the beginning of a new era, led by those who are truly worthy of the people's trust. Almost the appointed time now. The day is dawning on a new king's reign. And with it, my true passing. However, if I may truly end my life with pride in my boy, and my love at my side, I've no regrets.
It's been a long road to this moment, hasn't it?
It has indeed. But for our son, a new journey now begins.
Thank you, Daddy.
Heed me, all people of the kingdom. Dawn breaks, and the appointed hour hath come.
He speaks. With the announcement of our new king, everything finally ends.
I now settle the long-contested succession to the throne. They who hath gathered the most faith from their subjects amassed, they who have overcome this fierce contest, the throne's new sovereign, I now reveal. Behold, your new king of your kingdom united.
The United Kingdoms. Big head.
Look! It's him! Yeah!
Yay! Look! Look, that's him, isn't it? He won!
He certainly did, love. He really did. Oh, I still can't believe it. That boy pulled it off. His Majesty. the new king.
I won't accept it! The new king is Count Luis.
He
You
did.
can't just crown his son after all. That's cheating, that is. Rise up, people! Riot!
Disorderly conduct will not be permitted.
Settle down. The tournament is over. Our new king has been decided, and the royal capital falls under His Majesty's rule. Threaten it, and you shall face the wrath of the Crown Theocracy's warrior monks.
Bloody fantastic. They really did it.
Quietude descended once again upon the royal capital, and the day of the new king's coronation arrived.
Days later. It's like a week.
Boy, coronation really crept up on us. There's a lot of people in the crowd.
Don't
We
tell
can
me
do
you're
this.
nervous. After everything we survived already, stage fright should be nothing for you.
All the same, my heart's pounding out of my chest.
Is it? Nothing you're not used to then. It's just like with the archetypes. Just keep your head high.
It'll be fine. We'll keep the crowd warmed up for you.
Your newfound dignity suits you well, Your Highness. Ah, but I suppose you have outgrown that title. Your Majesty. Yes, that too suits you well.
Hope we can live up to the title. A little late to be considering that now.
By the way, saw some of them Senate fat cats hovering about, acting like they've been supporting us from the start, of course. Always on the winning side, eh?
Better than the alternative, no? Especially since we've got some Luis diehards among the people.
I hear that many are concerned about his proficiency with statecraft. To be honest, I'm not so sure myself.
Ooh, Yufa. As I swayed the entire kingdom to my idealistic views.
Juna will stand as moderator at the podium. His Majesty will only be asked for a few brief answers. First, the people would know how you aim to lead them. How will you respond to that, Your Majesty?
We have the power to change the world. All of us. I know I'm inexperienced, but I'll strive to do my utmost. With all of you at my side.
That's fine. The people have about had it with pompous monologues. Better to say what you mean with determination.
Still, there are a lot of people in the crowd who have never supported you. How are you going to respond to them?
I'll have to let my work prove my words. With results, I hope everyone can feel that our future will be brighter.
You went from a nobody to the top seat in the nation. No need to puff up and bluster anymore, what? You'll do fine.
A ruler must only stand tall. The rest is not done alone. We are with you.
Indeed. And we're no strangers to more practical work. Whatever our tasks, I'm sure we can
We're
handle
also
them.
the literal strongest people in the kingdom.
Well, it is time to make your first appearance as our king. Let us brace ourselves.
Good luck.
Thanks for always having my back.
Well, let's go. To His Majesty, the new king.
I can't even be poisoned. I'm immune to poison. Be a hard king to get rid of. By force, anyway.
We'll write a warm welcome, please! His Majesty the new king! Your Majesty, you're so young!
Please.
Please.
My king, your subjects would hear how you intend to lead them.
Relax, okay? Take it easy and use your own words.
As a ruler, I've much to learn. I cannot say what I'll accomplish. And yet, I believe the world can change by our hand. And to that end, I will face any odds.
Now, Your Majesty, a few more words. Naturally, some under your rule now supported other people in the race. How do you respond to their voices?
I mean,
There will be times I let you down.
valued
I know
strength,
that.
and I won.
Only results can prove my intent.
Saying.
But still, even should you oppose your king, you can always believe in your own future. I will make sure of it!
A nation where dreams and fantasies are always in reach. Will surely be a challenge.
We'll make it happen.
There you go. If you can pull that off, you'll be the finest king we've known. Well then, this is it! Your attention, please!
That is a big-ass crown.
No lord remains for you to kneel before. Please take the crown with your own hands, my king.
It's very pointy. Doesn't suit him. Crown seems like a pain to deal with.
Long have I awaited the arrival of this day. This journey has reached its end. He came to know the goodness of a hero's heart, and became the king his people had always hoped for. But as this journey ends, so another begins. I'd like you to watch over him on his path for a little longer yet. 1 year has passed since the arrival of the new king.
$12.35, what?
Hey, heard the news? They're finally reopening that mage academy that got closed down.
You don't say. The famous one deep in the Montario Mountains. Really? I'm impressed. It only took them a year.
They've even paved a proper mountain road. And get this, their headmistress is none other than Lady Juna.
What?
Powerful mage.
The songstress?
Well, she is one of the king's 6 partisans. If she managed to help save the world from Luis, I expect she knows a thing or two about magic. Sounds like they plan to fully open the magic researchers' findings to the people, too. Quite a turn from when the late Sanctifex banned it.
Makes sense to me. After the clash between His Majesty and Luis last year, everyone knows you don't really need an igniter to use magic.
And that's just today's news. It's surprise after surprise, ever since us church folk got the boot from the palace.
Hard to believe it's already been a full year. Only natural that there would still be some unrest among the people.
Even the Royal Knights. Their leadership was bound to the church more than anything, and now he's out on his ear too. And replaced by Sir Jaime Noctul, no less. You believe that? The Royal Knights, led by a Uchief of all things. Though he's one of the 6 partisans himself. When he speaks, everyone listens. No one's about to complain.
Even Parliament now invites citizen representatives to hearings. Strange to think we'd been deaf to the voice of the people until now. It's unbelievable, compared to the days of the autocrats. How swiftly the times change, eh?
credit
A
where
lot
it's
can happen
due,
in a year.
I think it's thanks to His young majesty. Remember last year's coronation? Unprecedented, that. Saw heroes of all different tribes celebrating the king's victory. Celebrating among the common folk, even. They tell me some of the younger aristocrats have taken to calling it the Great Reconciliation. It really is a tragedy, what happened to his father, the king. But considering how his sons turned out, I hope he's at peace.
Indeed. Yet the real test is still to come. The first year has seen a lot of good, but we've still got our share of problems.
I'm just in the town. People are smiling more now, but smiles won't solve the multitude of problems we still
Speaking
face.
of His Majesty, I've also heard some folks saying they've seen a boy wandering around these parts who looks just like him. You don't suppose?
Ah, can't be. Without his escorts? Besides, what business would a king have in this place?
Suppose you're right.
Literally, like 15 feet from you.
Mountains upon mountains of appeals from
She
the
has a little
people.
beret now, too.
How many days will this take to sort?
After all the
He's got a
trouble you
little
took to
hat.
flee politics. And somehow you're now the preeminent ladyship of your house. Such is fate.
Despite everything, this year has passed in surprising peace, hasn't it?
I would have had to go
Honestly,
with the new dress code.
with
The
the
white
royal
just
scepter
reminds me of
disappearing like
Louise.
that, I feared more dissent.
Perhaps after Luis, they swore they could never let that happen again. Either way, more and more are dealing with conflicts calmly and openly. Promising.
It promises that I'll have an eternally cluttered desk.
Here, Your Majesty. I've brought in the next load. And there we go.
She can actually carry stuff?
Not half bad, right? Hey! Isn't the king supposed to be here?
When did he? I've said countless times not to leave unannounced.
Oh, all this decoration doesn't suit me. How'd Luis and Forden put up with all this damn finery? Your Majesty?
Oh, I like his
Are you
outfit.
here?
I like her
Juna's
outfit.
back from her inspection.
Apologies, Troll. I'll look for him now.
Wait! I'm coming with you! Oh, good grief. Some things never change. Not that they should.
I'd say life has
Stroll
changed
definitely has the
plenty for
best
us.
post-game outfit.
And somehow our captain's same as he ever was.
Couldn't you give him a sword? Not really a scepter kind of guy.
And then, well, I might have got a bit too fresh with them stuck-up Sanctists. But those bloody church folk been looking down on us for years, you know? Still, it was other Sanctists what stepped in to keep things peaceable too. I reckon they're not all bad. Guess me cogs turning. They lost both their Santifex and the Saint Lady last year. Got their own struggles, I expect.
As authority weakens, power falls to the hands of those who have never wielded it. We must ensure it does not corrupt and give rise to new conflicts.
Not like it excuses all of them or makes me want to go up and shake a sanctor's hand, but you really put some perspective on it.
I believe you'll come to understand them.
You know what, lad? You're all right. You ever need some good, honest work? I'll get you squared, eh?
Got to see more optimism in the world. Still, take more than that to affect true change.
I should have known you'd be wandering around without your escorts again. How is it, being able to hear the city's honest thoughts? If you told them you're the king, it'd knock them sideways. Sorry you ended up coming all this way. Maria's actually out on an errand right now.
And I suppose I'll wait until she comes back.
You sure? That girl always ends up on detours. No telling how long she'll be. Either way, let's keep your head down. You know what happens when you're too obvious about this. Sooner or later, the Lady Captain of the Royal Guard...
Oh, there you are! I knew we'd find you here, for crying out loud.
Phew. So you were here.
I'm literally the strongest person in the world, guys. What's gonna hurt me?
Speak of the devil.
Let us return, Your Majesty. And I thought I had informed you that Juno would be back from her expedition today.
I suppose I have no choice.
What is it? You have unfinished business. 'Tis settled. I shall come with you on every excursion.
Not dressed like that, you won't. You know how we like snooping around, inconspicuously.
Point taken.
He'll be fine. His Majesty is not about to fall prey to some alleyway scoundrel, surely. Right, Your Majesty. If you see Maria about, do slow down for a chat. She'll be shattered if she finds out she just missed you.
Fine. Now, Your Majesty, once your business here is finished, please make sure you return to the palace with all swiftness.
All right.
Let's go.
I was looking at her, it seems so long ago. She might be praying in the Great Cathedral. I don't know, every year, so let's find them. Let's go talk to all my people.
Say there.
Hey. Skulking about the city, are we? Just say Hulkenberger's on the hunt, the classic game of cat and mouse, though who is which, I dare not say. It's been a year since you ascended the throne, but it's like you've hardly changed.
I mean...
Forgive me, I'll try to act more like a pretentious git from now on. That's rich. All that royal blood in you is positively wasted, my friend. What are we going to do with you? Not that I can talk, I actually came out for a bit of a breather myself.
Even so.
You know, I see now that even those at the top have their struggles a little too clearly. The journal's duties feel overwhelming at times. With our lives hanging in the balance, I recognize the weight of every decision I make, and I do find satisfaction in protecting those lives. Remember our first meeting back at the recruitment center? I, a fallen noble with nothing to my name, and you, a struggling elder traveler. Back then, my only goal was getting ahead. My people were a little more than an afterthought. If I hadn't met you, I'd have never realized the truth about my fortune, my father's intentions, and certainly couldn't have saved the Hollyans.
Thank you.
I was seeing the joy in their faces too. I think I've said it before, but thank you again.
That's...
You give yourself some credit, Stroll.
No.
I still owe any credit I could take to you for showing me the way. They live stable, peaceful lives. Thank you. You have a whole country on your shoulders now. The road ahead will be full of challenges we can't possibly foresee. But show me the way and I'll blaze the trail. Now and always, it's my role as a warrior to be the
That's
vanguard.
why.
Our titles may have changed, but I'd like to think our friendship is steadfast as ever. Don't hesitate to rely on me now and always.
What do you want to do? Say there.
Wait, what? Oh, it's cleared. I was like, what? Someone's over here.
Hi there.
Beneath the big man himself. Good timing, mate. I just got back into town myself.
Oh, right.
Ain't it, Ben? I've been out traveling since I took the reins on the Seekers recon team. Hard to believe it's been half a year. Crazy doesn't begin to describe what's beyond the sea. The sights, the magic, everything's so fantastic. I'm already itching to get back out there. I'm not especially keen on dodging the bloody cannonballs when my ship gets too close. Lots of tension out there. But what country isn't a little tense? Everything from the customs all the way to the way they think is so different. My head spins. Makes all the tribal bickering seem right dull, if I can speak my mind. But this country's changing for the better. I'm glad I turned over the throne to you.
Hold on.
Appreciate that. Come on, I'm just roasting you. After we knocked heads, I knew I could trust you with making the lives of us carapace better than they was. All my cohort have found jobs, and some of them have even picked up new skills from being out at sea so long.
See you soon, I hope.
Don't you worry your kingly head. I'll have it all whipped up in a report for you. Do some proper kingish with it.
Oh there!
Wonderful, isn't it?
All right then.
I love it.
Aha!
Amazing.
Lovely, that.
That's something.
An unexpected coincidence, Your Majesty. No guards with you today? No, don't worry. I'm no tattletale. Myself just left a meeting going over how the provincial governments are doing. We convened for the new year.
So,
How things in Martyra? It's as lively as it used to be, and we owe it all to you, Your Majesty. That dodgy mess you cleaned up for us feels like ancient history now. And I'm pleased to report, as head of the Provincial Lords, it's nothing but good news reaching my ears. Better relations between towns has employment up and overall welfare too. Each town has specialties and wisdom to offer, and when we combine our heads, there's no problem we can't solve. I just feel so blessed to be a part of it. I know I made some blunders when I first stepped into the governor's role, but I'm happy to share my failings so others don't repeat my mistakes. Are things alright now?
Of course.
Indeed they are. The townspeople play an active role in policy and administration. I'm not bearing that weight alone. Of course, some lords are like I was once, and would rather manage things at their sole discretion than leave things to the people. And yes, taking every matter to public opinion can be laborious, but what with the proceedings and disputes, still changing our own lives with our own hands makes the process worth the trouble. And choosing king of our own will was all the inspiration we needed for change.
Lovely, that.
Ah, goodness. Come now.
If you take this as my pressuring you not to venture out, that's not it at all. Only that as captain of the Royal Guard, I must know your whereabouts at all times. Maybe so serious, Alkenberg. Lighten up, maybe? When you say I'm too fussy, well, 'tis only proper for the captain of the Royal Guard. To be over familiar would set a poor example. Imagine the scandalized faces of our rank and file guard. That's it, not a day goes by that I don't reflect on our travels, now only a year past. However, regaining my pride as a knight to that journey. Thought I heard them. I was but a wanderer searching in vain for the prince. It was through you I learned he yet lived, and in the end it was your ascent to the throne I supported.
And so?
I never tire of the faces the younger guards make when I tell them of the time you acted as witness to my duel. Thanks to you, I was able to face him with eyes forward and put my past behind me. And please say the knights of today are nothing like what they were under Rodant's command. Soldiers take up their sword not for those in power, but for the people. And as the champion of the people yourself, we will do all in our power to protect you.
Well,
you do not make it easy by sneaking out of the palace as you do, though I suspect the soldiers are getting used to your chaotic tendencies. They know they protect not just a king, but a ruler who stands beside his people and hears their voices in clarion truth.
This I vow.
I will protect you with my life, as I always endeavored to do, Your Majesty. Only let me stay by your side to do so. Cool, I'm gonna wander off.
Yo!
I like his outfit too. It's not that much different, but... Unexpected again, seems a right pain to me, but I appreciate you going to all the effort. All's well.
Hey!
Wish I had something to report, but I don't. Guess that's what happens when you make a guy like me captain of the Tradian Brigade. Bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Still not used to calling myself a captain besides. We've been taking in some survivors from Louise's troops, you know? But don't you worry, I've got 2 eyes on them even when I ain't looking. The way I see it, they weren't the ones trying to make the world worse. I just gotta show them how power is supposed to be used, yeah? We owe it to you that there's less discrimination in the city these days. Fewer and fewer turn into a life crowd to make ends meet. If Del could see Grand Trad today, his eyes would bug out. Not just Del, a lot of the guys who didn't make it.
That's... yeah.
You remember? Those damn experiments trapped him in a vengeance he couldn't see past. But I feel like even he might be smiling, seeing what I'm up to now. We built this piece with a lot of blood and tears, so I say those of us who made it this far owe it to all of them who didn't to protect it. Hey, I've got nothing to report today, but it's not like bad people just stop being bad because you're king.
Thank you.
We've been through a lot though, so thanks for not giving up on us, or the world for that matter. If spotting any trouble that I didn't spot first, you just point me at it, I'll solve it quick like.
Oh.
His funny hat. Our king is out on some personal business, eh? I believe Hulkenberg was searching for you, but I suppose it's none of my business who comes or goes. I'm gonna break myself. Only try not to frustrate your royal guards over much. They all take their duties quite seriously, much like their captain. Who am I kidding? A knight who smiles is surely a myth. That's become clear to me since becoming titled. What could be more bizarre? A UG outcast, once a wanted criminal with a bounty on his head, made knight commander. There was of course some opposition at first, but the more heart-to-heart talks I've had, the more accepting they've become, albeit gradually. Can't look further than the outcast who became their king.
True.
Indeed, you face no shortage of persecution, and look at you now. Grand titles and posts across the nation are no different, spread across all tribes. I realized over the past year just how much a nation is defined by its people. No matter how great a king, he alone does not the country make.
However,
Yet he stands for those very people as symbol and representative. That the king and those around him are of mixed tribes, it has already caused a great shift in sentiment, even for those in the rural villages.
Now that you mention it.
Just how is Tadari these days?
yes.
He seems as busy as he can handle now that they've resumed trade with other villages. The coronation inspired that village to greater heights. It proved that barriers can be broken and that even they can take the first step. New winds are blowing in every corner of this country. I'll have to make another trip back home with my son to see the change for myself soon enough. But someday I hope distant generations will grow up only knowing conflict born of tribal differences from history.
We shall.
The ways to go before that day comes, but until it does, let us forge the path toward it, Your Majesty. Nope, right over here.
Pleasure to see you.
Hello, Your Majesty. It's only been a year since your coronation, but I see you've become quite apt at sneaking away from your palatial duties. Under constant fire from knaves of all trades, con artists, and critics alike, your opening act has been rather tumultuous, no? Oh, has it? I hadn't noticed. How kingly an answer. Never miss an opportunity to display how capable you are. Commendable. Besides, most of those agitators are the kind of scum that stirs the pot in hopes that they might benefit from the country's turmoil. Nothing I couldn't handle, of course. All in a day's work for the royal adjutant to Citizens' Council. Quite an ally I've made, I should hope.
Hey.
I wonder if my mother would be the slightest bit proud to see who I've become. That I'm doing my damnedest to use my talents for good, as I always should have. I'm proud to be working hard alongside you.
Yes.
That's right. Supporting you is the best thing I can do. You're the one who's been able to create such lasting change in our
Now that
country.
you mention it.
Reminds me, do you remember Dodorum, my hometown's landowner? He told me to send you his regards. He since confessed to his crimes and is waiting trial. You were the one who awakened his conscience. Makes sense, doesn't it? You've proven your ideals to be true. That's why the country is doing so well. There's nothing more to it. I'm hardly qualified to speak of pride, but if this country has one, it's you, and I'm proud to be among its people. Perhaps under your rule, the day will come that even we Nidio can walk about freely in our true forms. Please. Oh, you're curious what I look like for it? I'd be happy to oblige, but let's say that. No, show me. Show me. Show me.
All right then.
Can't just leave it like that. Been begging for it since freaking.
My king. My king.
There you go, Sue. Heard you were in town, so I decided to see if we might cross paths. I have so much to tell you about my inspection, so I'm afraid you'll need to clear your diary for me soon.
In that case.
Did you bring me any souvenirs?
Gosh.
Let's just focus on the report. Don't worry, I'll give you just the gist. Firstly,
Well?
the Mage Academy's reconstruction is going swimmingly. Repairs are in full swing, and we're already processing admissions. Mostly, I'm still surprised you appointed me, of all people, to the Academy's headmistress. I was rather looking forward to going back on tour as a songstress. Oh, and I shall introduce you to my furry little friend. I scooped him up in the Academy of all places. During the reconstruction, they stumbled on a little guy in some kind of observatory supposedly used by a king long ago. Sitting there an igniter around his neck, I'm sure he was being taken care of. I mean, there's no way a cat could survive alone in the cold, could he? Regardless, our mysterious kitty is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Academy. All the knowledge was lost when it fell, so we're starting from scratch. It may be hiding secrets as big as the Dragon Temple or the Sanctum. Oh, and I'm keeping the cat. Feels like fate, you know?
Speaking of which...
Speaking of fate, on my way back, I met up with Mirtis.
Now we're talking.
She's been keeping well, I hope. More than well. Victoria's been fine, and she's a fairly prominent singer about town now. Both just keep soaring to new heights. Her in music, me coming face to face with magic again.
Hey!
Sure you remember music was the first magic born in this world, yes? It's been mentioned. When the heart expresses itself through music, it moves the hearts of others. And when they make hearts swell, why, there's no end to the magic. So just you watch. With music and magic at my side, I'm going to change the world. All will have equal opportunity to hone their talents at the Mage Academy. Our doors are open to all. That's what my sister would have wanted. If it makes the world a better place, why isn't that just grand?
Magic.
Rilla taught me that magic is more than a tool. It's in all of us, deep in our hearts.
All right then.
All right,
Nurse. Oh boy. Brings His Royal Majesty here. Come to feel the wind on your face too, have you?
Aha!
I know it is. I have the fancy old title of Chief Engineer of the Kingdom Infrastructure Development Bureau. Jesus. I can research as I please now, but something's missing. So I threw off that stuffy old uniform and came to gaze upon the runner in the way I do.
About that.
I feel like I know what you mean when you say something's missing.
Oh.
I knew you'd agree. I think my bones are aching to feel the wind. Rather miss the days of dashing hither and hither in the runner.
Perhaps.
Not that I'm ungrateful for the gracious title you've given to a man who used to skulk about modifying gauntlet runners. You haven't seen anything yet. Why, one day I'll invent a teleportation device that will deliver fresh fish straight from Oceania to your palatial plates. It would change the world, wouldn't you say? I'm just a bit stuck at the beginning on the development.
Indeed.
And it sounds like this I need stimulation of the mind. You have anything that might do the trick?
That's...
They're going to send me on another relic hunt? Don't pretend you didn't enjoy it. Every time you'd pop back in with one, I remember how I could hardly contain my excitement. I do miss traveling like that. Even if the relics themselves are better off left untouched, they've become the guiding principles of my research, you know?
That's...
Convenience is important, but one must consider safety and the effects it might have on the world. An engineer who dumps a burden on future generations knows anything.
However...
Still no small feat to design with a perfect balance of safe and revolutionary. Even I struggle with it, and I'm a ballet genius. I knew it, but I need stimulation. Not Your Majesty. You know, like the soul-shaking speed and quiver of a drive engine. Let me know if you ever wanted to go out for a spin, won't you? Our dear old girl, sparkling clean and always ready for takeoff.
All right then.
Oh, right now. Ripping this is.
Dear me! Ain't this a pickle?
The king himself out browsing the shops. Perhaps I need to draft up a royal certificate of appointment. Tell the world we supply goods to the royal family. Anything you'd recommend? One igniter in particular, in fact, though I'm afraid we're all sold out of them at the moment. The igniter made at the children's request, the one that lights up with rainbow colors, is selling startlingly well. The store was packed with families and children. Now hold a position where I control the distribution of all manner of goods throughout the kingdom as the head of the Igniter Consortium. Can't help but think that if I had been in this position sooner than the church's violence, the tragedy of that village could have been prevented.
But...
there was nothing you could have done at the time. I know that. I only rose to this position once you became king and shed light on what lurked in the shadows of this country. Though you can't take full credit, as it were, I was nominated for my new position by my colleagues. Our new king has changed this country for the better. However, as a former arms dealer, it would be naive to think all weapons can ever disappear from the world. It's all the more reason I hope that the reasons for people to wield them continue to decline. To then, I'll continue doing all that I possibly can with all that I am, just as you do.
Speaking of...
Yes, do you remember my dog? I found the ones who took her. Naturally, I considered ending their lives. But there she was, sitting beside them. Evidently, they could not bring themselves to harm such a sweet creature, so they decided to keep her instead. I had no choice but to spare their lives. I couldn't subject a gentle dog to the atrocities I'd commit in her name. You should come play with her sometime. I'm sure she remembers you. Well, good. The dog didn't die.
All right then.
Greetings.
Working hard as ever, Gaisu. Were you going about town and listening to what the people have to say? Myself, I've just come from the Crown Court, where I've been consulting with the people about their grievances and disputes as Chief Magistrate.
Well...
shouldn't Chief Magistrate delegate such tasks? That's a question I shall throw right back at you, Your Majesty. As you're undoubtedly aware, in the past, many citizens were sentenced to hang without so much as a trial. I'm pleased to report things are different now. Anyone, regardless of race or status, can tell their side of a story in court and be judged equally and fairly. Just goes to show anything is possible, even for priestess to become a Chief Magistrate. Now, our brother is making great strides as village chief. He rather hated the role before, but he's truly found his calling, I think.
The reason is...
as I said, no one knows what the future holds. It's all the more reason I try to guide people to good choices. I live in a society that practices kindness, where those who suffer need not turn to crime, and so I practice what I preach.
Now that you mention it...
The other day I went to visit Ovi's church and inquire with those who are sick there, about how the kingdom can be more accessible to them. Was Ovi doing well?
Very well.
Yes, we practiced dancing together, and then we showed her mother. All of them are ready to ease into working again. Hearing them made me reflect on all the people who still need our help. Until now, the only hope those people had was God.
I do believe...
I want to fight for them to have options under laws and systems that they can rely on in addition to higher power. A country where all the tribes and all their values can join hands in harmony. That's what we need.
Because...
you aim to achieve that too, yes, Your Majesty? I hope you'll allow me to keep walking alongside you in this.
All right then.
Alright, it's most of everyone. I can still talk more.
Yeah.
No.
Wonderful.
All right then.
Just making sure. I can get in the gauntlet runner, though.
Let's go!
Can I go anywhere? Can I leave? Makes me nostalgic now, thinking of the strategy meetings we once had.
Alright then. Let's head there right away.
Didn't think so. Yeah, I don't want to talk to those people.
Amazing.
Say that.
So?
Wonderful.
Oh, we can't remember people. Should we head to where Maria's?
That reminds me.
Here, sure brings back memories. You remember how we came here looking for Maria before the tournament of the throne? She was crying back then, though.
But
things are different now. You can say that again. This country's turned around since then, no doubt about it. I'm sure there will always be differences of opinion. Our ideals are really coming to fruition now. I can feel it. That reminds me, what's up with the book you're carrying around now? Is that the one you've been working on yourself?
Oh.
I'm excited to see what kind of fantasy you can conjure up. Maybe that's not even the word for it. After all, if you're the one putting it in ink, that means you're going to make it a reality someday. Now then, Your Majesty, shall we get going? Like how I kept me on my sword.
Oh, hello there.
I have to read.
Right. I suppose now I should call you Your Majesty. You know, I was just telling Papa, even through all that mess, everyone's really been working hard.
This kid hadn't grown in a year.
am I keeping my promise properly from back then?
Yes, you beat the villain, and now the city's full of smiles. And I'm sure Papa's smiling down on you too.
That's good. Hearing that from you really lifts my heart.
It's a joy to see kids like her smile. The future changes slowly, and the burden of its momentum will fall on their soldiers one day.
Don't worry. I'll try to do my part with what I've got. I want to help everyone understand that the world could be a better place if we can join hands with one another. Miss Fabian's fed so many hungry people since things changed. Some of those people even said they found their place there. I think I did too. If we can all change together for the better like that, we'll be closer to Your Majesty's and Papa's dream.
Place where I ought to be, aside from myself, I ought to show the path is never clear.
And I want to help with something too. I want everyone across the land to be able to smile.
Yes, I expect great things, my trusty advisor.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Majesty. Oh, thank you, Your Majesty.
We should be the ones thanking her. Feels like I can see the entire country's future in her smile.
Really like his armor.
Everyone! Long time no see! How have you been?
As we find ourselves afield, I thought I might visit Alsace myself.
Hold on a tick. Those people there. Surely not.
Naturally, we're drawing attention. We didn't all have to go at once.
Needn't fuss, old thing. It's been too long since we were all together again anyway.
And you can't just come up to the king anyway, especially with his whole entourage.
Lady Tuna, did she really come all this way in a runner? Could have asked His Majesty to pop over and bring you back with a teleport or two.
The unmitigated nerve.
Oh, it's fine. I wanted to take in our country as it is. It's definitely a little rougher outside the capital's walls. There's still traces of melancholia around, and the odd human roaming about.
We're sending soldiers out for every incident we can. But it's not easy to hear the voice of the people from more distant regions.
I guess it's obvious. But just because you're king now doesn't make you suddenly all-seeing.
A lesson I learned last year. In the end, I was blind to a great deal of this world. Never would have learned if I hadn't pushed out the door and seen it with my own eyes.
He's right, the capital can be a bit of a bubble. There will always be more to do and learn beyond its walls.
A year ago, I would have just said we could fly over ourselves. I mean, let's be real. The capital isn't going to fall apart if we just sneak over for a little tour, is it?
Of course not. We specifically put precautions in place to keep things running.
Yet it has only been 1 year. We cannot be too complacent too soon, lest the dissidents seize on the opportunity.
Oh, there he is! Over there! See? I told you, that's His Majesty, innit?
Might have been a bit too obvious.
Oi there, Your Majesty!
You dare hoy the king? You swine!
Steady on, Hulkenberg, calm. You needn't draw steel on the poor fellow. We're the ones who indulged in this little day trip.
Your Majesty, thanks for all you do, really.
Did you just
Have to say, my life's a lot easier now.
There's more work to do every day, but we're in this together. We believe in you.
Everyone's so supportive. Kind of brings back memories from last year.
Rather. It's the sort of thing to get a chap all misty-eyed over the past. What a journey it was.
We really did just leg it up and down the country slaying dragons, eh? Can't believe we actually survived it.
They were dangerous times, but exciting ones too.
When we fought to appease the dragon god, I had no idea we would have to face another 4 dragons.
Nor I. Never thought the day would come when I'd be hailed as a dragon slayer. Life is full of surprises.
It's amazing what you can do with a persona. I resolve to believe in my ideals no matter what may come, even back then. Even if the world is slow to change, your king's beliefs can never waver.
It was a hard road, but we did have fun together, didn't we?
Looks like we're drawing a crowd. Time to get back to work.
Indeed.
It's like
a veritable
10 people.
mountain of tasks awaits us, and I will see it crested.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 people, and then you got background people. Like what?
And not long after, the new year dawned.
A journey? Are you really planning on leaving us?
There's more I have to see. With my own eyes.
You want to know what's going on in the world, huh? Well, I guess you are the king.
Sounds like fun, but a daily jaunt down to the slums is one thing, and a proper journey is quite another. You're a king now, lad. You've got the people's expectations on your shoulders. It's all right to just sit on your throne and mind the home front, you know?
I want to do what I can for the people. If that's not kingly, then the crown's just slowing me down.
Come on, this is no time for jokes.
Ever the fearless gadabout, eh? Well, I take your point, lad. Magla and the humans make a fine barometer for the anxiety still swirling in the country. So you go out and give it a proper survey, where it is and how much is there. If people can't face their anxieties, they can't keep their eyes forward. And if they can't do that, we'll have a bally hard time moving forward as a nation or a people. So you want to get a better grasp of it all. That's your most important duty as a ruler. That's what you're thinking, eh?
Right.
Even the most faraway future begins with the belief that it can be realized, so I'll press onward. That's the best I can do.
If that was your plan, you could have just said so.
Sounds like a fine idea to me. A proper spot of fun, besides. Wouldn't expect any less from our king and captain. Well, since I'm the bally court engineer, I've no choice but to come along. I'm the only driver fit to maneuver the Royal Skyrunner after all. And why, you're the Dragon Slayer King, bane of monsters all across the country. When I imagine what sort of wondrous encounters you've got next, well, I'm all agog.
All agog.
Yes, here begins our quest anew. Let us sally forth upon our... hello? Are you not listening to me?
Sire, you've really got to stop chasing these ideas all on your own. You'll be the death of us.
Once again, sire, I've asked you countless times to give word if you're to leave the castle. Such caprice.
Nurse, don't tell me you called for them beforehand.
Saved us a bit of time, eh? Though, hello, what's this? I count only 2 of the 6 partisans. Short a few spears.
For my part, I believe 'tis unrealistic for all of us to depart the capital together.
Oh, so you have no plans to
I mean, they're a normal
stop
place. Of
our
course they're
little
coming.
adventure, eh?
Hulkenberg and I talked it over. We decided that if you insist on going, we'd rather go with you than stop you.
Are you sure about this?
I was thinking back to our last fight with Luis. So many people supported us, but not for any high-minded ideals or arguments.
They were supporting us because we were actively fighting a monster on their behalf. In the end, people make choices based on their personal experience and emotion. Even if decided justly and supported by prosperity, people may struggle to trust a king whose face they do not know. An invisible ruler is no cure for their fears.
Right. I'm not opposed to the idea of getting out into the world again. Really, it might be the wisest move to make sure you're a king everyone knows.
My friends and allies believe as I do. Their support is the greatest treasure I could have.
Still, this early into the new year, 'tis never a dull moment in your Majesty's employ.
And I had a dull moment since y'all joined the team.
Bit of a smaller party than we last set out with, huh? But it's a pleasure to be on the road again with you.
Okay, but can we really afford to have both our general and the Royal Guard's captain coming along for this?
'Tis natural course for the Royal Guard to accompany the king. And I trust my corps is not so feeble that it will fall apart in my absence.
We'll make it work. Got to learn to trust others and delegate, right?
Plus we can
We'll just have
teleport.
to lead by example.
Right then. Let's go.
You once heard my voice and answered a query in kind. Is fantasy a powerless creation? That timeless question. So long as life remains in the world, we seekers all shall search for our answer. But he will find his. Of that I am certain. And it is thanks to you for believing in and guiding him. That was the true purpose of my royal magic, you know. To seek and obtain guidance from denizens of a land beyond ours. A land that has not yet lost hope. And it was you who answered the call. Armed with your hope, armed with the power of fantasy, you rose in glory. Such courage, such whimsy, and yes, what thrills. You have my sincerest thanks.
Are we running? We can fly.
Feels familiar. It's been far too long.
Aye, the wind feels an echo of days past.
Unusually poetic for you.
Mm-hmm.
They're awful, aren't they? They would have left us behind. Oh.
Well, I'm not certain we're in a position to talk, having followed straight after, saying we could just teleport back.
But hey, we figured the kids might want to change your scenery, like.
Wow! Amazing!
Poetic indeed. That the scepter's absence restored order to Magla, and even greenery to the sands.
I'll say, I definitely like this view better.
Let's go.
We're already low on beds, though. Oh, that's a good ending. Yeah, it was a great game. That is Metaphor ReFantazio, and it really sucks I couldn't finish this on stream. But, no biggie. I am going to do a whole video of Metaphor, and I have like 600 gigs of video to use. I'm only going to make like 30 minutes to an hour video. I don't need near this much video that I have, but I haven't, so I might as well use as much of it as I can. But I'll give more of a full analysis of... am I going to do a rating? I probably won't do a full rating. I'll probably just be like a recommend, which of course I recommend. I played the whole game. I'm not going to play a whole game if I don't recommend it usually. I don't know. I'll figure out how the direction of the video. But that's going to be it for this video. Appreciate anyone that watched it, and I'll see y'all next time.